everyone, LP here, and this is class number 3 in a 3-part series on Preparedness 101. First we covered water, and then we covered food, and now we're covering security. The way I do this is I front load the basic background information to you, and then we go into the details. With all that said, hopefully I'm not too loud here, my band voice. Let's go ahead and start talking about the security, the background on security. Now, protection is going to be the first thing we're going to talk about. Well, protection during a crisis, law enforcement will be overwhelmed. There's no question about it, it's going to happen. Personal safety is going to be your responsibility. Now, without proper security, you and your family can be vulnerable to exploitation, and you should probably know that. Home defense, protecting your home and your stuff. It's your job. It's your job, guys. Installing security systems, reinforcing doors and windows, and having defensive tools like alarms or weapons is your job. Now, personal safety. Personal safety. When we talk about personal safety, whenever you guys hear me talk about personal safety, it's about you and your body. If you have to leave the house, which you probably will during a crisis, situational awareness and defensive skills are going to be crucial. You should know how to assess threats, know your surroundings, and avoid danger. You should also know how to defend yourself if necessary. Protecting your stuff. Protecting your stuff. You should have security measures in place to protect your stuff. You made this stockpile, for emergencies, for your family and whatever, and you should be able to, it should be safe from people who want to take it away from you. Next, community. One of my favorite things. You need to make a network of trusted neighbors and friends, your family, and you should have strategies like patrolling or information sharing to keep you and your stuff and your community safe. Okay, so with the background done, let's go ahead and get into the number one thing, your home. Now, home is broken into different areas, and we're going to cover each one of these in detail. So with home security is essential during emergencies. It helps to protect you, your family, and your stuff. The truth is, the cops might not be able to help you during a crisis. It's just that easy. In a crisis, homes can become targets, making it crucial to have a plan in place. Now, how do we do that? We talk about first physical security. Physical security is not about money, it's about a place, a location, things like that. So when we talk about physical security, we're going to talk about deterrence, but we also need to talk about different things. Like, first and foremost, when they built your house, so guys, this is what they call a strike plate. This is a strike plate. I'm not sure how well this is going to come out, but this is a strike plate. This is what's in your deadbolt. This is what's in your regular door. When they put this on your home, they used these screws right here. This is what they used. This is what you should have in your doors right now. Not a joke. Upgrade to a 3-inch hex head screw. Literally, just go to your door right now and pull these out and you'll see what I'm talking about. Put these in. It's going to substantially change the way things work as far as bad guys getting into your house. The next thing is windows. You can buy shatter-resistant film to put on them, but at the minimum, get yourself a 2x4 or a 2x2, something like that. Paint it white if you really need it to be, and then measure the distance between your window seal and the top of your window, and just stick it in there, and it'll keep them from moving the window up and down. It's that easy. If they won't even think about even trying to open it if they know they can't get through it without breaking it, and it's going to be a showstopper for them. It's going to be good. Like I said, instead of putting shatterproof glass in there, get yourself some film. You can buy it on Amazon. It's great stuff. It really does work. And then also think about sturdy locks. Most houses are installed with very cheap, quick set type locks. They're really easy to jimmy if you know what you're doing. You might want to upgrade your lock system. That way, the actual physical security of your house. Won't have to worry about that as much as somebody getting through the door or through the window. Now that we talked about physical security, let's talk about weapons in the home. And we're going to talk about lethal versus non-lethal later, but let's talk about weapons in general. You should have defensive tools, firearms, pepper spray, a personal alarm, aka a panic button, or the kinds you can stick to your door, or you could just have a non-lethal weapon. One of the things that I often recommend is a 26-inch T-ball bat with a sock and a hair tie. That's right, I stole this from my girlfriend. This is hers, actually. That's why it's pink. If you've never been hit with a baseball bat, you don't ever want to be hit with a baseball bat. Also, full-size baseball or softball bats are probably about this big, and they're very difficult to maneuver down hallways. This is not. If you ever get hit with one of these things, you're going to know it. You're going to have a bad day. It's extremely light. Even a small-framed woman can yield this or can wield this and do some real damage. Now, why do I have a sock on it? It's that simple. If you do happen to come up against a kung fu ninja in your hallway one night and you swing it at them and they do the "not today," you simply pull it out of their hands and bash their brains in. Well, I can't advocate for violence because this is YouTube, but we do live in the real world. Okay, the next thing is personal security. As things break down, personal security will become vital. The benefits of you maintaining personal safety ensures that you can move through uncertain situations with confidence. You know, people who know what they're doing are confident. People see that confidence, they tend to stay away from you. There are ways to enhance personal security, and we're going to talk about that now. When we talk about personal security, first thing we have to talk about is situational awareness. Like, where's your mind? You know, situational awareness is about being alert to your surroundings, recognizing potential threats, as well as avoiding danger areas which you should know about. One of the very first drills that you can use is what I call the 45-second rule. The FBI figured out that within 45 seconds of you getting to your car, somebody is going to try and get to you. If they're going to try and get to you, you basically have 45 seconds to stop it. How? It's easy. As soon as you put that key in the car, within 45 seconds, your door should be locked, the key should be in the ignition, the engine should be on, and the vehicle should be in motion. It's that easy. The bad guys see that you got a plan and that you're moving faster than they can do anything about it. This drill will mitigate those issues. So 45-second rule, practice it. The next thing we need to talk about are personal defense or self-defense skills. Now, martial arts, defensive tools, they're ways to protect yourself, but both require training. Guys, you're not going to be a quarter-second draw guy. You're not going to be one of those guys unless you actually go to the range and practice it. It's not going to happen. It doesn't matter how many YouTube videos you watch. You're not going to become a kung fu expert while watching Bruce Lee movie. You actually have to take the classes, learn how to do it, and then practice until you get muscle memory. That's the whole purpose of training, okay? So when you start talking about self-defense, think about what the tools that you're going to use and the actions you're going to take, and then you should be practicing those things. All right. Otherwise, you know, your hammer fist is not going to mean anything to a bad guy who knows that you don't know how to use it. All right. So the next thing is traveling in groups. Now, traveling in groups sounds safe, and it is to an extent, but let's think about this. There are strength in numbers. It's a proven thing. Criminals rarely target groups. They want somebody who's out alone by themselves that they can get to and do things to without anybody even knowing about it, so they can escape. They're less bold. Practice being a hard target. Keep your head up. You are erect. You have a good posture. You walk with a purpose. You are scanning the area. No, we're not Terminator scanning. We're just paying attention. You're making eye contact with people both near and far. They know you're a serious player. They won't mess with you. It's that easy. So traveling in groups and acting and not being a hard target is the thing to do. Now, the next thing we need to talk about is lethal versus non-lethal, because sooner or later the conversation always goes to pew pew. You know, like, what do I do? How do I think about it? Now, when we talk about lethal, non-lethal, you know, in a defensive encounter, the use of lethal force is serious. It should only be used as a last resort. With that said, we all need to know the range of our defensive tools. Basically, how far will they go and what will they go through? Now, let's talk about lethal. A firearm can provide a powerful means of protection, but they require responsible handling and thorough training. Rewinding back to what we were talking about before, do not pretend because you bought your Glock and you got your holster and it's legal in your state to carry that somehow now you're prepared for a defensive encounter, because you are not. You simply have the tools. You now need to get the skills. And if you fail to do that, you're probably going to do something really dumb, or you're probably going to go to jail after you do something really dumb. So let's think about that. And then with non-lethal, also these days known as less lethal, there are options like pepper spray, pepper ball guns. They're going to give you a way to stop someone without killing them. And that's a plus. That's a plus no matter what you do. The thing about non-lethal weapons is they also give you or place you in a situation to give you the option to escape or open a window to escape versus just putting somebody down strictly defensively. Where, you might be out in a parking lot where you've got the opportunity to, pepper spray somebody, or maybe you have a non-lethal pistol. They do make them. I think it's Burnham or Burn is the name of the company that blew me off. Thank you, Burn. I just want to let you know about this. I'll make sure to tag you in the video. These are options. And then once you've done what you needed to do to deter the attack, then you can retreat. And now you don't have to hurt anybody. Now you don't have to explain to a sheriff or a state trooper why that guy's laying over there unalived. So just things to think about. And lastly, I always put personal alarms in here because we often forget all about them. Personal alarms can serve as a proactive measure. They draw attention and potentially deter a threat before it escalates. And I'd like you all to remember that ultimately the goal is to prioritize safety and de-escalation whenever possible. Now, hopefully you've liked this 3-part series. As usual, do me a favor, hit your thumbs up on the way out the door. If you're not a subscriber, make sure you hit that subscribe button. There will be more classes added to this playlist. If you're not familiar with the playlist, you might want to check it out. Until the next time, stay safe, have a great day, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye.